Hello and welcome to BeamNG Drive. I'm davidinark. Welcome back to the Crash Hard Cliff Diving Competition. We've got the Miramar edition. Kicking things off, the street-tuned vehicle gets a jump start, but then, well, it's in third place, so it slams on the brakes. A normal occurrence. Oh, for vehicles in that middle section, and that is the end of that. Drive shaft is shattered. And that's the end of the line for the street tune. Checking in with the Lux. Whoa, losing control and slams down into the valley and gets landed on by the track edition. Therefore, the track edition is also out of this competition. It is still trying to go though. And oh, wait, it manages to get back on the ground. Can it go anywhere? No, that bad boy is stuck and he is out of it. All right, let's check in with the GTZ, who is trucking along. No problem at all. Landing a couple of decent hits there. We've also got the base model in the competition, who is just trucking along at this point. I believe the base model is out in front of everyone. Who'd have thunk that one, huh? The GTZ, oh, there's an awesome shot coming off there. Whoop, loses a little bit of control, regains it though, and heads on down the line as the base model makes the big climb, heading, off the edge. A nice hard landing. It sounds like that vehicle might have a bit of an issue there as the GTZ lands hard. It is drifting to the left, cannot recover off of the cliff, and that is going to be the end of the line for the GTZ. That means the only vehicle left is the base model Miramar. What? Whoever would have predicted that the base model was going to be the vehicle to possibly finish this thing out? Look how low that the whole front half of the car sits to the ground. This bad boy is bent, all out of shape. That is not good, but it has made it to the final approach as it hits that last landing pretty hard. Oh no. Oh my gosh. It hits the landing hard and appears that it is now, well, semi-stuck. Looks like the front wheels are completely hosed. That definitely could spell the end of the line for the base model. It is trying so hard to figure out how to get out of this predicament and instead ends up high centering itself. Wait. No, it got loose. It cannot, however, figure out how to make it to the finish line that is so close. Oh, so none of the Miramars make it to the end. As we take a look at the individual trials, we're going to start with the base model, who we now know ends up going almost the entire length of the course, only to fail at the very end, which we have seen several times throughout this competition. That last dive at the very end, just too much to handle for a lot of these cars. Whoa, there goes the track edition in the background. Holy smokes, man, that was a wild, complete wipeout there. But at this point, the base model is making its way to the peak jump and seemingly having very little problems whatsoever. In fact, the vehicle itself doesn't appear to have much structural damage to it. Okay, now that landing there was a bit rough, but it is still making its way. That was a little harder of a landing. Again, though, not too bad, although we can see that the front wheels are now decidedly shifted a little further back from their normal position. And here is where the base model climbs to the highest peak in the Crash Hard Cliff Diving competition on the track itself. This is the peak, at which point, everything is downhill from here, although, you know, definitely at a slant, but still heading downhill as it makes its way toward the finish line. Taking some deep dives. Again, referencing the front wheels there, you can see how much further they've been pushed back into the wheel well. messing with the chassis there. That is definitely a problem. But at this point, this vehicle is still trucking along very well. I mean, this is the base model Miramar we're talking about here. Scraping the bottom, chassis on the ground, the back wheels not having any trouble at all. In fact, I don't think the back of the vehicle has had any trouble. But right there, takes that hard nose hit into the landing right there and gets stuck and just can't fight its way to the finish line. So that is definitely the end of the road for the base model Miramar. Up next, we've got the track edition Miramar, who he actually slams on his brakes there. That was kind of an interesting start. Not sure we've seen that from the person in the second pole position. Oh, hard landing, loses a little bit of control into the ditch, but manages to regain the control and puts the pedal to the metal and is actually having a pretty decent run at this point, except there it is up on two wheels and oh, stuck in the middle and just absolutely gets obliterated by all of the, just all the jukes and jives and all the stuff that is in between the tracks. And here, down in the ditch, it tries to regain composure to see if it can find a way out of its predicament. However, it is absolutely stuck, and it is not going anywhere anytime soon. That spells the end of the race for the track edition Miramar. Man, that's a tough break there, boy. Whew. All right, the street tune, as we saw in the overall race there, slams on its brakes here, takes a massive hit to the front end, busts the drive shaft, and that is the end of the race for the street tune. Basically didn't even make it past the first landing, and that's the end of it. It's trying really, really hard. You got the pedal to the metal, but it's not going anywhere. That spells the end of the day for the street tune here in the Miramar Crash Hard competition. The GTZ, who is in the fourth pole position, grabs the lead, heads off the first jump, has no problem at all. The second one handles it with ease, and it is just cruising right along here. And I actually thought that the base model was ahead of it at this point, but no, the GTZ way out in front, and the base model looks like it might be catching up at this point. I mean, I say catching up, I'm going to use that very loosely, because the GTZ itself is just cruising along. It's having no problem at this point with any of the jumps, any of the landings. This car is taking everything the Crash Hard cliff diving course can throw at it and taking it like a champ, just heading up to the highest point here on the track. We look behind, we don't see anyone behind us, and just flying along, takes a pretty solid hit there. We can see that the front wheels are definitely not quite in place. However, things seem to be okay. Once again, it's drifting a little bit from side to side within a particular lane, but not a problem. The back end squirreling away just a little bit right there, but the GTZ looks well on its way to finishing the race until right there. Now all of a sudden it's got a serious cant to the left, cannot recover, ends up falling off the edge upside down, and that is where the poor GTZ will spend the rest of the day. And finally, the Luxe Edition. Put in a little luxury here, and let's see how luxury handles the course. The first landing sends some hubcaps flying. I'm pretty sure no one had any hubcaps left when this was all said and done. Whoop, there's another one gone. That's a hard landing, which throws it out of control, spins a little bit, winds, cannot regain, ends up upside down in the ditch, and sealing the deal. The track edition lands dead smack on it. That is it. So, once again, unfortunately, none of these Miramar vehicles will make it onto the finals here in the Crash Hard Cliff Diving competition. Woo! Man, awesome stuff here today. Hope you enjoyed that. Special thanks to Hero of God, GamerGull, Mr. Spooky7 for supporting me on Patreon. You can check that out, patreon.com/davidinark. And I thank you so much for watching. Got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories? Feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. We will see you next time on BeamNG Drive. Have a great day.